Hey guys, so I wanted to film I guess like a quick update video for you guys about my health that I shared with you. I'm doing good, and I'm happy to say that I am healthy in the sense of that I can very confidently, we can say at this point that I do not very, very thankfully can say I do not have cancer. I do not have breast cancer. I do not have any type of malignancy in my breasts. I went to go talk to the breast surgeon um, at the Cancer Institute, and I got to ask her a lot of my, paranoid questions about the pathology and, what that meant, and, was biopsy reliable. And she explained to me that the procedure that I had done, which was called a vacuum assisted biopsy, and I had it done also proportionally on a mass that was extremely small. It's about a centimeter. So considering I had a VAB biopsy on an extremely small mass, everyone is pretty confident in the accuracy rate of this biopsy, which said that there were no features of malignancy found, thankfully, that the tissue that was provided was benign. And so I am extremely grateful for that. I'm sharing this video because I hope that this type of video and this type of information can help someone else going through it. The waiting period was definitely the hardest part of not knowing to have it where you go, in other words, I went for ultrasound, and then to have it where I was told I needed to get a biopsy done, and then the period of waiting for the results was pretty rough. And what was interesting was I ended up waiting about 4 days for the results, which was not bad. But what was interesting was my results were actually ready the next day, in I think less than 24 hours. And I remember I called up, and someone had said to me on the phone, like one of the nurses from the breast clinic, that they had my results, but they weren't the right person to discuss it with me, which I was saying to myself, oh, it can't be true. I mean, like, how could my results be ready in less than 24 hours? And everyone was saying that, that never happens. But they were. They did it very quickly, and there was absolutely nothing on the biopsy that raised alarm. It was benign. So I went to go talk to the breast surgeon about the fact that I got classified as a fibroepithelial lesion, but benign. So that means that the differential diagnosis was either a fibroadenoma or a benign phylloid tumor. And there's a lot of signs that point that it's more a fibroadenoma than a phylloid. It doesn't appear that it's fast growing, which is very consistent with phylloids, and also my age is more consistent with a fibroadenoma. It's very soft feeling, so there's a lot. It also seems to change sizes and shrinks down a lot due to like my hormonal cycle, which even more so points at a fibroadenoma. And then they told me that a good amount of time, basically if they did an excisional biopsy, what they would see is that, like, given my pathology results and the different criteria that came back, most of the time it comes back as a fibroadenoma. But either way, it's benign. They usually recommend with phylloid tumors that if you had a confirmed phylloid tumor, that it should come out, because not that it could turn into cancer, but that it could, if it was that type of tumor, it could potentially distort the breast. So there's a boat going by in the background because I live on the water, and I'm just like waiting for it to like pass, because like I don't know if they're on the phone or on the radio. I don't know. It's like really loud though. So we'll just like insert music here while we wait. So I went to go talk to the breast surgeon about not only my pathology report, but my questions and then how to proceed. Some people basically at this point will do what's called monitoring, which is if the mass came back benign, which mine did. Basically, you can come back every 6 months for an ultrasound or mammogram, in my case, an ultrasound, and see basically if it's getting bigger or if it's the same size, and kind of go from there. So ideally, they probably, anytime you go to a breast surgeon or a hospital or something like that, they would prefer to take it out and do what's called a excisional biopsy, not to anything to do with malignancy, because that was confirmed benign. It would be more to I guess to try to see if they could figure out if it was a fibroadenoma or a benign filio tumor. But she discussed that if I am very, very nervous about having a operation, which I am, that she was comfortable with doing the option of the monitoring and coming back every 6 months, maybe for about a year, and just seeing if it's gotten bigger and kind of going from there. Basically, if it doesn't get bigger, then you kind of have your answer that it was a fibroadenoma and not a benign filioid. So I'm kind of in that realm right now where I'm trying to give thought to, if I want to have it removed now or I want to wait and see. She had shared very honestly, like she probably wouldn't even be able to get me in for a surgery to have it removed for, like, it could be a month and a half, 2 months, and the new ultrasound would be in 6 months. So I'm trying to figure out just kind of like what's best for me at this point. I know I'm pretty exhausted to honestly go through a surgery right now. I asked her if it could be done with local anesthesia. Unfortunately, this type of procedure has to be done outpatient at a different hospital that has a operating room, and it would be done under something called twilight, which is not general anesthesia, but it is the type of anesthesia where basically you take a nap and basically you wake up and the procedure is done. I've never had something like that done before, so that kind of really freaks me out. So, I mean, I'm in a situation where a surgeon has given me the option of waiting and basically waiting to see, no matter what, it's benign, but waiting to see if possibly it gets bigger or stays the same, and that kind of gives them almost the same clinical answer as removing it, or kind of going now and getting it removed. So I kind of feel like I'm more leaning towards waiting what would be only an additional probably three or 4 months, because I can't get seen right now anyhow, to see if the mass has gotten bigger. What was also really weird and kind of interesting was I recently have changed up my diet. I cut out pretty much all dairy from my system, and I've like substituted that with like oat milk and different things, because I had read like milk possibly can affect like female hormones. So what was interesting was that I don't know if it has to do with the biopsy or fibroadenomas specifically can shrink and they can get reabsorbed and everything. But what was interesting was she had the breast surgeon had an extreme amount of difficulty finding my mass, which was, a great sign. I don't know if it shrunk or the tissue has kind of like changed texture, but it made me feel like a very hopeful, good sign that, she's basically saying, can you help me out in finding where it is? Because like I can see like your scar from the biopsy, but I literally cannot feel the mass, and before you could feel the mass, because that's how I found it in the first place, and that's how the gyno found it. And but I am basically, what I'm dealing with right now is a benign mass. They can't even say it's a tumor. It's a benign mass that is not malignant, has no signs of being malignant, and we are monitoring it to see if I take it out now, if I don't take it out now. But either way, I am very, very, very grateful that the biopsy showed that, and she feels confident also that what I have is benign. This has been a extremely scary experience. I felt weird even making this video because I know I come across so many women on TikTok who have confirmed cancer and you just see people suffering. But I wanted to share, I guess, what I went through, and maybe I can answer any questions someone has, maybe of what a biopsy is like, or different things that they may have questions about, or how long it takes to get results, or what my signs were, things like that. It has been a very changing experience. To have to have called up a cancer hospital, to have a oncologist. When you walk into the Cancer Institute, you hear the bell ring of people in remission, and everyone claps. It's been a very changing experience for me, of the very true statement of you learn from something like this what matters and what doesn't. But I am very, very grateful that I am today healthy. That's how I refer to it. I am today healthy. I have really no concern that this is going to turn into anything other than me deciding what to do or how to manage it. And I am very, very grateful that it's not cancer. But I wanted to share with you guys what has been going on with me, and to try to become a more realistic vlogger in that sense of everyday life, the good and the bad. Because realistically, I can never be that girl on Instagram that goes out and every photo is me posing on the beach, because I don't feel that that's life. You can have a lot of good days where every day is, a lot of good days in a row are good, but the reality is there's days like I have been through, and unfortunately people have had a lot worse, that are traumatizing, life-changing, terrifying. And in my case, I am very, very, very grateful. And I find myself having to, I have to keep reassuring myself that I'm okay, because for the last 3 months, I did not know if I was okay. I wasn't I did what was called medically as the workup. I did the clinical exam. I did the ultrasound. I did the biopsy. I went to go meet with the surgeon. Got many clinical exams the other day. It has been a very changing experience. And I am very, 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 very grateful that I am okay. But I wanted to share this with you, and I think hopefully it gives more insight into who I am and my life, and I hope that it will help someone out there who has questions about biopsies or different things they are going through, or it just gives a space where they can also feel comfortable sharing something that they're going through. But thank you guys for watching. I'll try to get this edited and posted and up on the channel soon. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon in my next video, and bye!